What's the motherfucking den, man? Welcome to the den. I'm glad that you could join me this afternoon. I hope everybody is doing fine and dandy. I'm Ed Honcho. This is the den. The den is the best conversation on the internet. And the reason why it is the best conversation on the internet is because of you wonderful people who come in and join each and every day. Whether it's in the earlier dens, whether it's in the later, I'll learn how to speak this English. The later dens, or whenever it may be. Danny, shouldn't you be in class learning something? I think you need to do that. So. But let's talk about it. We're gonna talk about dreams today, man. I think some of this stuff. This is probably gonna look crazy against this background. I didn't really think about it before I put it up. But we're gonna talk about dreams today, man. And I was doing some alright shit. Let me see something here. What's going on here? Gotta fix that. There we go. I'm Ed Honcho, your host. This is like I said, and so we're gonna talk about dreams. What are they? And the different meanings of dreams, because there are a variety of topics, I guess, that you could associate with dreaming. And so we're going to discuss that. We're going to talk about that. And I don't know, it's kind of clean today. It actually looks neat. Like I don't see as much. I don't know, I'm pretty sure if I'm going to talk about it and it's going to fuck up. I don't see too much of the frizzies today. It looks actually fairly decent. So let's see what we have joining us. And then let's get into some good conversation. Let's see what we got in the mix. I see Hillary Clinton Reed in the building. Kenesha, what's the motherfucking deal? Empress Yaya, what's the motherfucking deal? The pistachio pill for herself is in the building. I don't know. Was she here early? I don't know if she was here early enough to get the early bird special. I can't recall. Kate Grace, what's the motherfucking deal? Coltrane, what's the motherfucking deal? I don't know, the little stock thing it said, I think she was Hispanic. So I don't even know how that works. Maybe what is it on the census? Hispanic, non-white, or no, white non-Hispanic or something? Because you got black non-Hispanic. You got like goddamn census is interesting. Danny, what's the motherfucking deal? Professor Trill, what's the motherfucking deal? Why is there no class tomorrow? What the fuck did you do, Danny? You fucking shit up already. You just got into school. How the fuck is there no class? You just got to school. Just started fucking school. How are you not having class? Jack Trippin' motherfucking pimp, what's the motherfucking deal? Oh, shit, AC Blue, man, that's tough. 335 in the motherfucking building. Moses Israel, what's the motherfucking deal? Sticky Northside, well, god damn it, brother, what's the motherfucking deal? Class don't start till Thursday. You need some early bird class, especially your ass is bored. You need some extra study hall, something. You need to do something, Danny. Just go hang out at 9. Don't do that. Not in this day and age, that'll get you in trouble just hanging out in the area unnecessarily. You know, you're already kind of questionable. Was that Danny or was that Dominic that was questionable? I can't remember. You guys are both the same dude, so fuck, left that over there. Anyway, let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Dreams, man. I'm not talking about I don't know, maybe like Dream Chaser, like what was his name? Meek. But I'm talking about dreams, that little zone you go into when you go to sleep. And the reason why I want to talk about it is I've had some crazy dreams. And normally I don't remember my dreams. Normally I really don't. Normally I don't recall them. It's just like, oh, I was sleeping, cool. But, we're going to talk about nightmares too. My name, what's the motherfucking deal? But I had some weird dreams the last few days. Today, I had a dream, and I don't think it was lucid. I think it was just, it was all over the place, man. Like, it went from staying at a cabin with some family I don't even really like that much. And this is why I feel like subconsciously, but now that I think about it, it makes sense. That's why I feel like subconsciously, there are thoughts that you have throughout the day that may not be prevalent thoughts, but they get incepted into the dreams. And the reason why I feel that way is because, I'm thinking maybe like doing clouds during the daytime and maybe like stars or something at night. I don't know. I have no idea if that works. But my fucking charger broke. Well, it didn't break, but it's like a piece of shit now because the cord has gotten all frayed. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't even really thinking about that. Not too much last night. You know, I've been stealing my old lady's charger, so that's fine. You know, her charger, my charger is my charger, so it works. And now it makes sense because in this dream, like I said, we were like at a cabin or something. It was some family. We were all there. It was a bunch of them that I don't like. And then, you know, my mom was there. I was there. It was like a family outing, vacation kind of weird thing. But it's like a cabin. And so I'm searching through this cabin for a fucking charger. And I can find every old fucking charger I've ever had in my life. I'm talking about the big old wide Motorola chargers, the old chirp chargers. I mean, just any other fucking charger I can find. I can find all of them, man. Like all of them. I appreciate that, Sticky. Yeah, man, hit that like button, man. Let the tube know you actually like what's going on in the deal. But I'm dreaming about chargers I have not seen in years. But part of this kind of makes me think. My mom used to keep all kind of cords and chargers. She'd keep all kind of batteries, all kind of weird stuff. But I mean, I'm just seeing all kind of fucking and I cannot find the simple little fucking charger, like the new generic charger that everybody uses for my fucking the same charger everybody has. Everybody who's not an Apple user has a little fucking Android charger. And got little cousins in the dream. They walk around on their phone doing all kind of stupid ass shit. Anyway. So like something was happening and I wanted to record a video, I wanted to take a picture or something. It was like a fleeting moment, so I'm going crazy looking for the charger. Somehow this journey leads me I don't even know where the fuck it takes me. Like it's like I started walking, looking for this charger. Now I'm on like I don't know what you call it, like an embankment or something like, there's like water and muck, like kind of near a I wouldn't say like a swamp, but anyway, I'm trying not to fucking, you know, get in the water somewhere. It's like a concrete deal. And so I'm walking along that, and then on one side, like I said, it's this water. I wouldn't say the ocean, I wouldn't say swamp, it's just kind of murky water. And then on the other side is like this fucking fancy ass party going on. And like, I don't want to go to the party. I'm just trying to find this fucking charger. Like, I'm not even really concerned about the party. It's like, it just got real weird. But anyway, I say all this. I don't want to go to super details. It's not like a therapy session. But I say all this, and I get to a point where I end up at this fucking house, right? What is it? Micro USB? I don't know. Is it the smaller one? I think whichever one is wider. But I find this house, and I don't know if it was again. I haven't watched zombie movies in a long. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. Maybe some old Call of Duty shit or something. I don't fucking know. But anyway, so there's like not even really a house. It's like another little kind of area of land, and there's like this space in between. There's a building here and another building where there's like a house. And so next you know I'm there, and then a bunch of random people start showing up. But I guess apparently I'm friends with these people. Scotty came along. I don't even know, but he looked a lot healthier. He looked like he was a bit more spry. Scotty. He was much more active. And some other little random dog was there. I don't even know. It wasn't even my old dog. But anyway. So it all started out all cool and everything. And for some reason at this house, I knew that like after a certain amount of time that the zombies were coming, right? The fucking zombies were coming. And so, but the space in between the two little residences or whatever, it was like, I don't know what happened. I think I couldn't charge my phone, so I couldn't call anybody, right? So it was some people who were at this house, and then it was some people at the other house. The other house was closer to where the zombies would start coming. So, I go try to fucking, warn the people that, the fucking zombies are coming. But by that time, some of them had already came. Some people were like transitioning, and so I'd start laying waste to people. It was kind of strange. It saved like a couple of people. Scotty went and hid somewhere, and I thought he was done for. But a little bit like later in the dream, dreams they seem like a long time, but it's not really that long. And somehow he came back. Scotty's probably like the last dog on earth that would survive anything, but I don't know. Somehow he survived in the dream. And then, like I said, it was like 3 or 4 of us, and I ended up waking up. But I'm just sitting here trying to put all this stuff together. And I know it's a long story to say a whole bunch of nothing, but I'm trying to put all this together. Like, what is this? Like, where is this stuff coming from? I'm not like a zombie fanatic. I don't really think about shit like that. The charger, it makes sense. The family thing kind of makes sense. I talked to my mom on the phone the other day. We were discussing some stuff, and so some of the people who were involved in that conversation were in the dream. And so that's why I'm a firm believer like that dreams are really like a collection of little subconscious things that are going on, and they just, they kind of take over while you're sleeping, while you're in that whatever state that they call it. So that's why I can also see why a lot of people say, well, I got dreams. I was dreaming of this, and I had this dream, and it was a sign, right? And so, zombie porn sounds disgusting. Little guy, what's the motherfucking deal? So that's like lucid dreaming, right? When you have control of your dreams, and you can kind of do what you want to do. You got to speak on it now. No, the Peter bed is whenever you you got to go to the restroom in the dream. That's always a bad deal. When I first discovered that, I learned that the hard way. It was terrible. That makes more sense than it should. But anyway, so that's why I really think that, when people say, man, I had a dream, it just made so much sense to me. But it's really the thoughts that you've been having. It's really things that you've been encountering. This is my personal take. I'm not a psychologist, obviously. But Soul Better, what's the motherfucking deal? Bad and Bougie, what's the motherfucking deal? And say dreams about zombies may mean a sense of losing control. Interesting. That's if the zombie. What is this? That's like the zombies are taking over. What if it mean? But like, what if you basically like saving the day? Because I think that's where I was. Like, I mean, I took out a good couple of dozen zombies. You know what I mean? It's like, cause the people. It was like maybe like between the two residents, it was like 12, 13 people. The majority of them turned or whatever. They were trans zombies. And the thing about it though is like, I guess in those things when you have like a connection with somebody, people are like, oh, I don't want to kill them. They're a lover. I was laying waste to these people. Like I was fucking people up. I don't even know where a gun came from, but definitely a couple of them got hit with the gauge. But I don't even know where it came from. But it was mostly like, machetes and shit like that going on. But it was like I said, there was a lot of other little details, but I don't want to get too boring into it. But what I'm saying is like I had to kill a dozen zombies. So it's like at no time, but again, like I said, I could understand that. But I felt like I was completely in control of the situation. So is that maybe, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Like I say, anyway. But, I have not played Dead by Daylight in so long, man. I stopped fucking with Dead by Daylight when they started doing the a lot of the little microtransactions. Like I didn't mind buying the additional little characters and shit. And when they started adding some more of those microtransactions, I hadn't been fucking with it. But I should play. I hadn't played in a long time. That was probably actually my favorite fucking game because I'd get into that shit. I'd probably get into that in a sick way. Like, I might have to bring that back. I don't know if the community's still active on Dead by Daylight, but if it is, I need to fuck with it because, man, I get into Dead by Daylight. Like, and because I can only play as the killer. Like, I don't ever want to be the survivor. Like, I don't like that shit. I don't like that fucking running shit. I have to be the predator. I gotta be the predator. Like, that's my whole deal. No, I don't play any of the other stuff. No, the timing is changed just for you, Angela. Everybody else, the time is the same. Don't forget to get your votes in for best chat troll. So my thing is, 2 for a nickel ass ninja. 2 for a nickel. That's the first time I think I've heard that one. But yeah, let's talk about them. So like I say, with me, I think it's just a collection of things, but I definitely don't know where the zombies came from. But at the same time, when I said like I didn't really feel like I never felt uncomfortable in in the scenario, but I guess it's a dream. I don't know how much of a dream you actually sense feeling. Um, like this, I felt under control. Like I tried to warn other people and advise them or whatever was going on, but they didn't. And those who didn't listen didn't survive, and the couple that did listen did survive. And I guess they could have a layers of meaning. Maybe that's I don't know. I have some ideas of what it could mean, but again, should we subscribe a lot of meaning to a dream, or should we just take it as the mind having a way of putting together all of these random thoughts or things that you've been associating with, So I find it very, very interesting. Okay. I would definitely. So what I'm gonna do, like I say, I'm gonna start doing a couple of things, and I'm gonna take this last little few minutes to get on it, because we only gonna probably go about an hour and a half today. So I gotta stick to that 3 o'clock time frame, even though yes, I was a little bit tired. I was working on some stuff. Not in this morning den, but definitely in the tonight den. We're gonna have a segment. We're gonna start having in the night dens. We're gonna have a segment called Top 3. We won't do Top 5. It'll be Top 3. And so what that means is we'll pick a particular topic, subject, whatever it may be. It could be movies, it could be music, it could be something more specific, it could be something more general, it could be food, it could be anything. And the top 3 will be that you have to list your top 3 favorites. It's simple, it's nothing, just something more active for the folks in the chat who are listening. And if you want to call in and share your top 3, that'll be fine too. But I want to just spice it up, not just to make it pretty. I have an idea for the morning segments too, but I probably won't share that until either tonight or I'll so that way you'll know ahead for the next stream or tomorrow. But I'll post whatever the top 3 subject will be. I'll post in the Facebook group and on Instagram, on the social medias and stuff like that. So that way y'all got a little time to, decide what your top 3 might be. It may be something that you got to think about, ponder a little bit. It might be something that, you might know off the top of your head. So it is what it is. 7 can. Terrible. Or, in the early afternoon. It's morning for someone somewhere. It's probably still morning in California or something. Who fucking knows? I don't know. Look, DeMarkey, stop trying to correct me and shit. So again, like I said, but I want to know your thoughts when I open up the line. I want to know your thoughts on dreams. I want to know interesting dreams that you've had. And so, but it's talking about a recurring dream that she's been having. I want to know just what you think about dreams. Do you think that they are an accumulation of the thoughts that you had? Do you think that they have a deeper meaning? Do you believe that they are just thoughts? I mean, what do you think that the purpose of dreaming is? Is it just a way for your body to rest, to go into a deeper state? And Miss Lily mentioned being able to control dreams, lucid dreaming. How many of you are lucid dreamers? And I think that's a very interesting thing. But like I say, I'm gonna start kind of scheduling streams though, and my plan is, to keep the first 20 minutes. I will talk for the first 20 minutes, and I'll start cutting it at the 20-minute mark and start opening up the line, or maybe throw a little something in there, then open up the line. But for right now, the plan is to only talk about 20 minutes, then start opening up the line, taking calls. Then probably at the hour mark, like I said, not on this stream, but at the hour mark, then we'll have a little segment or so to spice it up. And then the last call will probably be, because the streams are 2 hours. So at the hour 50-minute mark or so, if the last call passed that, then that will be the last call, or, all calls will be in for the hour and 50-minute mark. Anything after that will be, that'll be it. So that way, kind of stay on point, stay on schedule. As I'm trying to do more, and especially with sauce season coming up, aka football season, really go hard on sauce for that I have to be very timely with the schedule. and I will warn you guys ahead of time, on days that football, like say a late game or something like that, there won't be late dens because I always do a post game show on Soft Sports. So I'm gonna be honest with you, football is king. So Sunday nights of the games, if it's a Sunday night primetime game, which I don't think we have too many, I'll look at the schedule and find exactly what's what. Or a late Thursday night game or a Monday night football game, there will not be late dens on those nights. So just giving y'all a heads up. If the Texans play late, no den on that date. So, all right, let's talk about it. Let me run through this real quick before we open up the line. Hey, Jack, follow Den Show Live on the Twitters. If you're in the Twitter sphere, make sure you check that out. Man, and I'm gonna drop some short content for y'all. I know I've been promising it for a long time. I know I've been promising it for a long time, and it's just been too late. But I'm gonna drop some content for y'all because I got to talk about. I know everybody's favorite anchor, fucking Don fucking Lemon. Make sure you're following on the Facebook page. Like the Facebook page, man. Den Show Live on Facebook. It's greatly appreciated. Make sure you're in the part of the private Facebook group also. And all you youngsters are talking about this for the grandparents. Well, fuck y'all. Den Show Live on Instagram also. Hey man, make sure you are, if you want to follow on Saturdays for the live audio podcast and want to participate in that chat, you can go to denshowpodcast.com. If you just want to listen in, if you want to catch the old live Den shows, you can go to Den Show Podcast and just tune in. That's interesting. That's interesting who that may be. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, you want to get you a shirt? You want to get you the That's Unfortunate shirt? We'll go ahead and get you some merch. Go to denshowshop.com and get you some merch. Miss Open, how did the shirt? I believe you said you got a shirt. I don't think I ever inquired how did the shirt fit if everything was on the up and up with the shirt. You too, Professor Tripp. Nightly, 10 p.m. Central. I gotta hurry up and open up the goddamn line. I know y'all want to talk, but I gotta do this. I gotta make sure I properly promote myself. I gotta put the automated thing back on, so I changed it up. I changed a bunch of shit up, so I gotta fix it. Shout out to Culture. Weekdays, 1 p.m.-ish, like around 1 p.m. Around 1 p.m. Start looking around 1 p.m. It'll be there somewhere. If you want to support the channel, man, you can donate. You can go to Dinjamins.com. So instead of having to know the whole Streamlabs.com, all that other stuff, you just go to Dinjamins.com. It'll take you to the same page. If you want to make a one-time donation to the channel, it makes it so much easier if you want to donate some Dinjamins to the Den. Shout out to all of you who have been showing love and supporting. Especially shout out to Dan the Man. He's been showing a lot of love as of late. Shout out to Dan the Man. And if you want to make a monthly, must be hungry, a monthly pledge to the channel, you can go to denfolk.com. And and you can make a monthly pledge to the channel. Like I said, I will be adjusting some of those tiers and fixing some things up, and like I say, showing some love here. Got some good ideas, and it's really time to start implementing those and taking action. Let's get it. Let me open up the Denline. Everything on the up and up. That's the number. Y'all can call in. You got something to say. You got something to express. Get the audio properly set up, and we Gucci. We Gucci. We live. I don't need all this stuff. There's no audio for any of these things. Again, and I need to put up there. What is it? We'll have the 10-minute rule, and what else is the other thing? 10-minute rule, because I haven't updated the thing for the 10-minute rule. And if you ever want to send an email, you can send it to denshowlive@gmail. If you got something you want to share, if you got something you want to discuss, some news topic or anything of that nature, feel free to use that. Let's just answer first. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon? Make sure I Hello, hello. Is it going through? Is it on my end? Make sure I got my audio right. Hold on. Hello, hello. I don't know if it's going through. Hold on, my shit's on. Oh, make sure everything on the up and up. I'm not sure. I'm thinking this Miss Grace. If you can't call us back, Miss Grace, because I'm not sure. I couldn't get the audio in. Let me see. Might be on my end. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
You got Professor Trill. What's up, Honcho?
All right, there we go. What's the motherfucking deal, Professor Trill? What's on your mind, man?
Calling in to talk about dreams.
All right.
And I wondered why you didn't bring up the most important dreams of all.
Well, what is that?
Wet dreams.
I fucking do it.
I'm going to tell you something, though, Honcho.
Okay.
I hate them motherfuckers with a passion.
Okay.
The wet dreams to me is the worst. Because it involves you doing whatever it is you decide to do in your dream to, let's just say, the highest of the hierarchy of feminine women. And all for you to wake up and realize it never really fucking happened.
This is true.
That's bullshit. That sucks. That's the epitome of the Ghetto Boy song, Mind Playing Tricks on Me. You just want to slap the shit out yourself. You just do. Like, nigga, what the fuck? That's not cool, bro, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I know I can't. Oh, go ahead.
No, so yeah, because you wake up disappointed, and then with extra work to do, because then you gotta clean up and stuff like that. So yeah, I
no, but see, that's the difference in mine. I ain't never came from the shit. I never finished.
That's interesting.
I normally just be hitting my stride right by the time I wake up. Like,
so is there a point in the dream where you realize that you're dreaming that you think you wake up, or is it just by law,
no,
by natural, or just
no, not with those. Never, not with those. Now there's other dreams, like sometimes nightmares and shit. I'll realize I'm dreaming, and then I'll scream at myself to wake up. I've done that. I've lucid dreamed a few times where I knew I was dreaming and I had the fucking time of my life. Nigga was flying and all kind of shit. That was fun. You know what I'm saying? I was having a blast, driving Lamborghinis. I was doing all kind of shit.
Yeah.
But those very, very few and far between. But there's another dream I'd like to talk about.
Right.
And it's kind of weird, but it happens. I don't know about it happening in other races, families, but for some reason, this particular type of dream happens only in the black family. Now, I could be wrong. It's those type of dreams where one of the elder women would dream about a certain thing, and it means something to the rest of the family. Like, one of my cousins, she's the one that's kind of in possession of it now. Whenever she dreams about fish, it means somebody's pregnant. So she got on the chat with all of us, and she said, which one of you motherfuckers is pregnant? And, of course, everybody was no. And I say, bullshit, I know a couple of you motherfuckers raw dogging. Stop playing. Go to the store and go get you a pregnancy test. Lo and behold, 3 days later, it turned out to be true. The last 3 times she dreamt about this, one of my female cousins was actually pregnant. So she's 4 for 4.
Damn.
That's some weird shit.
That's
so what do you think about those type of dreams?
That's odd. Now, see, that's when I think we start getting into some some different conversations, because I do have a firm belief, excuse me, that people are disconnected from our true nature, and I think that certain things run in bloodlines, or when you have close family ties, that we've gotten away from, especially with the electronics and things, and because I always talk about, like, back in the day, you used to hear all the stories about like hippies and shit, and people who say they met at a festival, and these motherfuckers could never talk again and end up going cross country and meeting up in some random place or whatever it may be. But I think people have lost that I don't know, that natural connection. You know, I feel like electronics and technology replaces things that we naturally had, so we don't depend on it as much. But I think that to me that ties into something with that human connection that we have. So, would you say that your family is rather close? Did y'all grow up close?
Yes.
Okay. And so that's kind of where I think that is. I think that people just have this sense, and like I think there's like this, because like I said, my best friend who passed away, man, it was crazy. Like I say, when we were working out there in South Dakota, he woke up just in the middle of the night, like, damn. He's like, somebody's in the hospital, and I'm like, what? I'm like, that's a crazy. He's like, man, I know it. We're real close family. You know, he calls back home. You know, his mom and his grandma were both in the hospital, like on just some random type shit. Just like, why would you even say that? You know, that sounds like a fucked up thing to say. But I think those close knit families have a bond. I think if people that you spend a certain level of time with, like you develop like this other connection. Like I think it's hard to explain. But I do believe humans have a connectivity that we don't get into as much, that we don't really talk about as much.
Okay. All right, that's cool. Well, that's all I had. I'm letting somebody else call in. I was just curious.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Well, that's a bad Professor Tripp. I appreciate you calling in and sharing your perspective on dreams with us, man.
All right, Honcho.
All right. All right. So I see a couple of folks saying that, okay. So folks saying that grandma like that they, you always have me. You hang out with them. I ain't even gonna get on you, Shannon. Shout out to Shannon. Just a bad who said grandma dreaming fish. Look, fooling me, they gonna be dreaming of that market ain't gonna have nothing to sell, no products to sell. Pull that game on fleet. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
Okay, this is Miss Grace. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How are you doing, Miss Grace?
Troy got in before me.
Yeah, you were there. And I just couldn't hear anything you were saying, so I don't know what was happening.
Okay. And I was wondering what that name Trill meant, Trill, because on Basketball Wives, one of the Tammy Roman, she said she has this alter ego character, and she named her something Trill, and I said, there is that word again. So I looked it up, and they said it's a southern term or a southern word, a blend word that means truth and real. Have you heard that before?
Yes, ma'am. It originated. I don't know if you caught the stream last night when Professor Trill called in and we were talking about rappers, and he was saying, his favorite rap group was UGK. Well,
okay,
that's the group that originated that saying, and then it just kind of permeated the rest of the Southern slang.
Yeah, and I was wondering, like, why did they spell it Trill? Why didn't they spell it Treal? But it's all in semantics. But anyway. I'm getting good now. When your blogs come up or your whatever you call this podcast, I look on the bottom what you're going to be looking for, and dreams can be fantasies, random thoughts of your conscious or subconscious mind, collection of ideas, all of that. Some dreams I can take the heart, and some of them are like, it's just something that we have to do. When we were kids, my mother would dream of numbers. Sometimes people would hit, sometimes she'd hit, sometimes she didn't. You know what I mean? So when she would dream of a number, she would write it on a little tiny piece of paper, and she'd put like a quarter or two and fold it up on the paper. And our job we would have to walk a couple of doors down to the boogeyman's house. You know what I mean? And play numbers. I said, can you believe that bullshit that we ghetto kids were forced to play numbers and go to the stores and buy cigarettes and things? That's crazy, but you know what? We're okay, and I've never been a cigarette smoker or anything like that, and I don't gamble. But dreams can be like hitching your wagon to a star. If there's something that you need to do, you can dream higher and further. And so when you wake up, you take the necessary steps in order to be more successful. I find that they can be that. And my mother used to say that if you dream, I don't know if you ever dreamt of falling and falling and falling. And my mother said, if you dream that you're falling and falling, you have to wake up before you hit the bottom or you will die. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard people say that. I don't think I've ever hit the ground, but I don't want to test it. But I've heard people say that.
Okay, I tested it. I hit the bottom and I'm alive.
Okay.
And not I wanted to die. I just wanted to see because I really didn't believe it anyway. But I did hit bottom and then I woke up. You know what I mean? So I was happy to let everybody know that you can hit the bottom and it doesn't necessarily mean that you died. But the thing that I'm getting to, what you were talking about, because I had jotted that information down, when I was taking a psychology course, the instructor asked us to keep a notebook on the side of the bed, which I always do. So when you wake up, you can jot things down because my mind is clear. You know what I mean? And you know how when you wake up, sometimes you don't remember your dreams right away. Sometimes you do. Lots of times you don't. But you give it a little bit of time, and sometimes the dream will come to you. So he wanted us to jot down our dreams so that we could look for patterns, okay? That way we can interpret them. I used to have these reoccurring dreams of being chased and chased and chased, and things with animated things and unanimated things would turn into different things, and this person would turn into somebody else, and they would pop out from under beds. I mean, no matter where you went, I was constantly being chased. So once I took it to class the following week, the instructor looked at that, and he said, do you know what that means? And I said, no, I don't know what it means. He says, are you under pressure? You know what I mean? Is there anybody that pressures you or anything that you have to do? You mean that sometimes you don't want to and you don't know how to say no? And I said, yes, my mother. Because my mother, she was a good mother, don't get me wrong, but she brought us up that we were to worship her. And she did us a favor by giving birth to us. So we always had to, when we worked, we had to make sure we gave her a part of our paycheck. But that's a cultural thing because people that come here, they mail the money back. Even if we had a short week, you know what I mean? My mother still wanted her amount of money. She didn't care. She would start screaming because she had to buy her Pall Mall cigarettes, raising 7 kids by herself. You know what I mean? So it was pressure. So when I used to drive her car, I had to drive her around like driving Miss Daisy. You know, she'd write up the checks, I would just sign it. When I would, James and I would rent like a carpet cleaner, clean my rugs, go over to his house, we'd clean his rugs, and then we had to go over to my mother's and clean her house, and clean her rugs. When I cleaned house, I had to clean my house, I had to go and clean his house, and then I would have to go and clean my mother's house. You know, because if we didn't do it, any of her kids, especially us girls, you know what I mean, she would make us feel so ashamed of not being good daughters, because that was our job, to sit there and make sure that she was taken care of. So this instructor said, you need to start saying no to her. And I looked at him like, I mean, that's the unthinkable. And he made me go to the board and write, he said, I want you to write it in bigger letters. And I had to write in big letters, N-O. He said, and put exclamation marks on it. And I did it. He said, you need to say no. You know what I mean? And it'll go away. And then when she asked me to do some things that I didn't really feel like doing, I didn't feel like being enslaved no matter how tired I was, guess what? Those real dreams of being chased went away. So you sound like you're under tremendous pressure. You mean there's some things that you don't want to do, but you feel obligated like you're supposed to do it. And as long as you feel that way, you mean you're going to be chased. You're going to be chased until you make up your mind that you have to give up something. You mean you can't do it all.
But
you're going to stay up all night, Honcho, sometimes staring at the ceiling, you know what I mean, twiddling your thumbs and things like that. You have to, you know what I mean, just say no. You know what I mean? And it's hard for me to say no because I was brought up as long as I can, I'm supposed to. I had to learn to say no because most of the time I say yes, I like to, but I have to force myself and be conscious of saying no.
But do you think it's different though if you, because like I say, I don't know if it was so much like I say I could see where you're saying with the pressure thing, but in the dream, if I'm moving towards it and attacking it as opposed to running from it, do you think that has a different meaning to it?
I think it probably does. You mean, and it's something that you're trying to handle. You know what I mean? By any means necessary. You mean you're determined to be successful with it. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
Okay, and also what Trill had said about people in the family dreaming things. My mother used to say, or our people used to say, that if you dream that someone's pregnant, that means someone's going to get married. If you dream that a baby is being born, that means somebody's going to die. You know what I mean? My mother said when her husband died, you know what I mean? And I've heard this from other people. When a loved one close to them has died, you know, they were worried, and they said that person always came back to them. And I heard from at least a couple of people that the spirit sat on the bed, and the bed actually went down. You could feel them, you know what I mean, sitting down, and the bed went down. And my mother said that her husband said everything's going to be okay. You mean? And then after he didn't come back anymore, and I heard that also from someone else. You know, but and then one more thing that I know about my dreams is that if there's something going on in your life that you're not addressing, you may have a dream that'll let you know that something really bad is going to happen unless you address it. You know what I mean? Because if I didn't, something bad has. If I addressed it, I headed off. So it was like a warning. And then one more thing, the serial killer in New Bedford. Okay, I know 3 of the girls that were taken. They were tough girls, but they were taken anyway. So one of the girls, Christine, you mean her mother had a dream that Christine's body, because they never found her body. A lot of the girls in the city, they didn't find their bodies, and whoever the serial killer was, you mean he was changing their clothing. So Dawn Mendes was leaving a party close by to the house. She was all dressed in white, going to a kid's birthday party. Well, they took her white outfit and put it on somebody else to confuse the cops. They were playing games. And by the time they found the bodies were totally decomposed. But Christine's mom said that she dreamt that her daughter was underwater somewhere, and there was holes and worms and things and water flowing through her body. You mean? So she just said her daughter was in no more pain. She wasn't suffering. Nobody had her in captivity. She was under the water somewhere. She was dead. And she said that gave her a little bit of closure anyway. You know, but that's all I am going to say. And hopefully I'll be awake this evening, because last night, again, I was asleep and I woke up at 3 listening. It was nice to hear Prepaid.
It's always good to hear from Prepaid.
That's my dude right there, and it was nice to hear from John, and I could tell that he was an Italian.
Yeah, I had to confirm. They were arguing in the chat about nationality, so I had to ask, but you know.
Yeah. I could tell. Why is it that in this they're always asking about is the person white? Is the person white? I've never seen that before. But in your chats, they always want to know. Even if a few times I've called, is she white? Is she white? They always want to know if somebody's white or not.
Yeah, because I think they've been duped a few times. I know when Dan first started calling, they swore up and down Dan was a white guy, and I'm like, I think me and people was like, Dan is not white. Dan is black. If you listen to what he's saying, these are black things that he's saying. They swore, they argued with us, and then come to find out Dan was black. And then I think Miss Ashley too. Everybody swore Miss Ashley was white.
Right.
And then they come to find out that Miss Ashley's black too. So I find that funny also. I do find that amusing.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny to me. Okay, you have a good one. Let me continue listening.
All right, Ms. Grace. Appreciate you calling in. Thank you for sharing.
Yep, bye-bye.
All right. This is a racist chat. That's what it is. Y'all are a bunch of racists. Why did anybody ever ask if anybody's Asian? Why does Dan have to be self-hating? If Dan doesn't like certain activities that certain people do, but he doesn't participate in those activities, how is that self-hating? You feel me? Oh, your Lady Licious. Where is Lady Licious? We haven't seen Lady Licious in a while. I'm gonna have to pull up on Lady Licious. She been MIA for a little bit. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this afternoon?
It's Beyond a Funny Nigga.
Beyond a Funny Nigga. So for those of you who haven't watched or not following Beyond a Funny Nigga on the gram, y'all need to tune in and watch his podcast. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And you had a gentleman on there talking about heaven or hell. And I found out, I discovered that Beyond the Funny Nigga is immortal and he cannot die. So, Beyond the Funny Nigga, what's on your mind, man? How do you feel today? What are your thoughts on the topic today?
I'm feeling good, Honcho. I feel like dreams do have a meaning because I've looked some things up online and stuff because we all have different types of dreams and different interpretations. You ever had like a dream or like your tooth falling out or something, or your teeth like crumble?
Yeah, I think
So like for me, this is how I knew it was kind of real a little bit because that shit happens to me often. It only happens when I'm worried or I'm stressed. So I kind of looked it up and shit, and it's like thousands of people explaining the same feeling. Like, you know, when they go through something, they're worried, they're not sure about something, they have a dream about their teeth crumbling, and you know, stuff like that. What I really think dreams are, I feel like they're secret messages. You know, I feel like we're all kind of psychic in some type of way, but it's to the extent where it's just little glimpses of like your future, and in your waking life, it's up to you to get to that or change that.
Okay, that makes sense. And I agree. I think we do have it. And that kind of ties in what I was saying about that, you know, that connectivity that we have. I think that with the more technology that we have, the less in tune we are with ourselves. And so, so I definitely agree with you as far as what we're saying about not knowing what it is. And so it's being expressed through the dreams.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me now? I said I was agreeing with you that I feel like we're not as in tune with ourselves as we used to be. You know, when now with all this electronics and technology, that you know back then people had more time to kind of understand themselves. But and so I think now it becomes expressed through the dreams, when we're in a dreamlike state, whenever we don't have all that other outside interference, you know, kind of distracting us. So I can definitely agree with that somewhat psychic.
Yeah, and I was also reading some things about sleep paralysis and stuff. It's like kind of some foods that do trigger sleep paralysis, like chocolate or cheese or something. If you eat that right before you fall asleep, you know, that can trigger it. And it's some positions also to prevent sleep paralysis. Never sleep on your back. You always have to sleep on your side or on your stomach.
Yeah, that's tough. I always sleep on my back. But I think it has to do with breathing and stuff too. I don't know. I rotate like I do like a full three. So I be barrel rolling in my sleep. I start off on one side. I know I went to sleep on my back. I ended up on my face. Somewhere I'm halfway to the side. Scott then invaded some space somehow, and I kicked him out the bed and came back. But yeah, okay. So have you ever experienced sleep paralysis?
Yeah, it used to be very common when I was a child, you know. But I get it occasionally and stuff like that. But I know how to handle it now. Just relax, you know, try to close my eyes and just let it happen. So, I mean, you just gotta be tough about it. You know, you can't let it let it catch you off guard. So you do that, you gonna fucking start crying and shit.
That's tough. Just let it happen. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. That's I appreciate that 335. I'll be forgetting to put the number up. Roscoe, what's the motherfucking deal? Okay. So what about nightmares, man? Like, what is? I know you said the worrisome, but like, what is the worst nightmare that you can recall having? I don't think we spoke too much about nightmares so far.
I think the worst nightmares are. It happens when you lose somebody in a dream or something like that, somebody that you really love. That's the scariest stuff. You know, monsters and shit, you don't give a fuck about that. You know it's fiction. But when you see, like, you lose somebody that you love closely, yeah, I've seen, like, I've been in situations in my dreams and stuff like that where I kind of, you know, made the person, you know, perish and stuff like that. And it felt so real. And, like, my unconsciousness that I woke up and I thought it was reality. So like it's been some moments like when I was younger, you know, I wake up kind of panicking and stuff like that, you know, asking for my mom and stuff like that. You know, she's like, "Boy, what the fuck wrong with you?" I'm like, "Shit, you ain't dead," you know. But you know, it's just stuff like that. But Yeah, just losing family members and stuff like that. That's my worst nightmare.
Okay. All right, I can understand that. Yeah, I definitely had some of those. Some of those motherfucking dreams be so real, and you just like, damn, you gotta wake up and gather yourself, and and just make sure you collect your thoughts. Okay.
You ever been shot in your sleep?
Man, let me tell you something, man. There was a weird series of dreams that I had for like a week, and they all involved my mom and somebody. I don't know why. I don't know if it was because of something I did, and they were trying to get revenge on me by trying to get after my mom or whatever it was. But it was like every time I got there just in time to get her out of danger, but I ended up getting shot or shot at or hit, like, and I couldn't, no matter what, like I couldn't avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just like, and kind of like Betty mentioned earlier, like it was even a part where I tried to like fight back. But when you be fighting in your sleep, you weak as fuck. Like you and punches a kid. The impact is like, I don't know. It's like throwing pillows. Like that's how I am. Like I can't I cannot fight in my dreams. Like the hits don't do anything. It's like the shit just.
Nobody can.
Yeah, it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, but yeah, I've been shot a couple of times in my dreams behind either my actions or somebody trying to get at my mom for some reason. I don't know why they would do it. She's a good Christian lady.
I run slow as shit in my dreams. Like I'm a pretty fit person, but in my dreams and shit, like in real life I'm like an 86 overall, but in my dreams I'm a 69 and shit. Like I can't move no goddamn well.
Oh man. Somebody asked in the chat, are you single? Are you available?
I'm single, but I'm chasing this money.
Okay.
So
married to the money, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what's happening. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. When is the next podcast dropping?
Friday. It's gonna be a 10-minute freestyle with a local talent, somebody I went to school with. His name is Hernan. Check him out.
Okay. Now look. Now I got a question. Now, can he really rap, or he just one of them homeboys you be gassing up?
I mean, that nigga. He my nigga and everything, but I just wanted to, get on some exposure and stuff like that. But he be trying though,
Would you say his style is unique?
Huh?
Would you say his style is unique?
Yeah, very unique.
Okay, nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I'm just, because sometimes, hey, nothing wrong with trying to put your partner. Come on, look, because we know, I don't care what nobody say. Nelly, I wasn't even a big fan of Nelly, but when Nelly put the Saint Lunatics on, Saint Lunatics were terrible in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But that was his homeboys. He put them on, so I'm not saying homeboy terrible. I ain't never heard them, but I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna check him out and say, hopefully he got some flow, and hopefully that gives him a platform to get his shine on, man. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, have you ever drowned in your sleep?
I can't recall. I cannot recall. Like, I feel like I want to say yeah, but I can't recall. I can't really give a definite answer on that one.
Oh, okay. Don't. Don't.
Damn. Okay. All right, did my best now. Niggas can't swim, man. So shit, I ain't got no choice. Shit.
Yeah.
You get in the water, you out of there. All right. Okay.
Well, that's all I got, Honcho.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in beyond and sharing your thoughts with us this afternoon, man.
All right.
Man, you know what else? I had a crazy dream the other day too. That I was in the fucking projects in LA chasing a fucking rabbit. Like me and two of my partners. I don't even know them niggas. I don't even know how they my partners. Like, you ever have strange friends in a dream that you don't even know? What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the DN this afternoon?
What's the motherfucking deal? Is Betty Spaghetti on the line?
Betty motherfucking Spaghetti. Is you ready? Is you ready, Betty? What's on your mind, Miss Betty?
How you doing?
I'm doing great, Miss Betty. What's on your mind? Talk to us. How you feeling today? It's been a minute. How you been?
What? I'm sorry. You're like breaking up a little. What'd you say?
I said it's been a minute. So how have you been? Let me slide this over here a little bit. Let me see if I can.
All right. Well, I got a story about one of the dreams I had when I was a kid, and so this goes into, my father passed away when I was young, and I was about 9 years old, and it was maybe, I don't know, like 4 days after he died. And I was sleeping in my mother's room with my mother. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was awake. I was not dreaming. I was wide awake. Like, I woke up and sat up. And it was dark, and when I sat, I thought I heard a noise in the kitchen. Like, my father used to get up real early. He would make like a big pot of sauce or whatever. So I thought that, I don't know, it woke me up. So I looked, and there was nothing there or whatever. So, hold on, my neighbor's here with his dog. So, anyway, so I woke up, I sat up, and I looked. When I went to go lay back down, there was this completely black, like, not, like, you couldn't see through it. It was just a completely black shadow. And it was standing right over me on my bed, and I got so freaked out. And, like, I went under my covers, and I didn't even say anything. I didn't wake my mother up, nothing. Like, I remember the next morning, my uncle was sleeping on the couch because, like I said, this was right after my father had passed away. So the next morning, I told him, I'm like, oh my, I told him what happened. He's like, oh, you saw God and all this. And I'm like, no, this was not God. And I don't think it was my father. Like, like a lot of people were like, oh, maybe, maybe your dad came back. I don't think my father would come back and scare the shit out of me, So I don't know what it was, and I've read and, like, I've seen a lot of it online now because I guess so many people have had these experiences with, like, these, they call it shadow. When I was a kid, there was no name for it. It was just a shadow that I saw, but now they call it, like, shadow people. And so I'm wondering, like, what the hell was that? Like, it was just crazy. So that was, one of the stories I wanted to call in and share.
That's interesting. That's interesting because I don't think I've ever had. I've lost quite a few people pretty close to me. I don't think I've ever had that experience. So, did that experience, like, did it change the way you thought about it?
Oh yeah, to this day, I sleep with my head under the cover, or my head under the pillow. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's scary. I've never gotten over it. Like, I've had, yeah, it's not like, I'm crazy over it, but it's definitely affected me where I never want to experience that again. And it, like, was burned into my mind. It was quick. I saw it for enough time. It wasn't like I saw it just for a second. Like, I looked right at it, and it was just this black shadow, no definition, no face, I didn't recognize clothing, nothing. It was just a totally black shadow standing at the side of my bed, just there. And I went under my blanket, and I didn't look the whole rest of the night, and that was it. But to this day, I still, my husband thinks I'm crazy because I'm always like, he's like, can you breathe, But it affected me to that point where it scared the hell out of me, So, but I'll let somebody else call in now.
I got one more question, Miss Betty. One more question, if you don't mind. What kind of dog does your neighbor have?
What kind of what?
What kind of dog does your neighbor have?
What kind of doll did my neighbor have?
Yeah, you said the neighbor.
Oh, dog. Yeah. Oh, dog. Yeah, I don't know. He's got a mutt like mine. I think the dog, it looks like a chow mix, but I'm not exactly sure. But he's friends. I have a Rottie Shepherd mix. So whenever he walks his dog, they stop over here and, they sniff each other and all that. So.
All right, that's cool. Okay. Well, thank you for calling in, Miss Betty Spaghetti. I appreciate you sharing that with us. We're gonna see if anybody
all right, and tell Rashida I said hi. I'm glad she's a mod now. I saw that.
Nah, we ain't talking to Rashida. We don't want to talk to Rashida.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
I appreciate your call. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
What's up, Honcho? It's AB.
AB, what's the motherfucking deal, AB? Been in a minute, man. What's going down, man?
Shit, that man chasing this paper, bro. This got so much going on. My time been limited.
Hey,
but
gotta do the damn thing. What's on your mind with the dream situation? How do you feel about today's topic?
Man, it was interesting, man, because I remember I used to have this long repeating dream, man, like over and over. I'll go to sleep, I'll wake up, and I'll go to sleep, and the fucking dream keep going. So it's like damn. I was like, what is happening? What is this supposed to mean to me? But what was happening, man, I'll be in these different scenarios. I'll be, like, tied up in a car. In the car, I don't have control of the fucking car.
Yeah.
And the car ends up in a wreck. Or it goes over a bridge into some water and shit. And, like, before I fell into the water, I wake up, like, what the fuck? Like, and then I've been in a van before, tied down in the van. I'm like, who driving the fucking van? I can't tell who's driving the van. Traffic, the car is swerving in traffic. I don't even know what the fuck going on, right? But I remember reading about it, like, later after I even got over it, is that there was, like, anxiety, stress, shit like that, where, you know, you feel like you don't have control of what's going on. So that's why you was dreaming that over and over again. Like, I used to feel like I would always die in this dream by a fucking 18-wheeler. So every time I see a fucking 18-wheeler, I'm like, fuck that shit. I ain't about to get nowhere near this goddamn 18-wheeler. Because I was like, shit, I've been dying in my damn dream behind 18-wheelers. But once like my life kind of settled down and shit, whatever I was going through, the dream stopped. So I didn't have those dreams again. But it's funny, man. It's like your subconscious talk to you because, like you was talking about, you're so busy doing everything else, you never get a time to be by yourself. And then when you finally be by yourself in your sleep, you know, your brain is like telling you, hey, we got a lot of shit on our plate we ain't dealt with. Like, we got to deal with that. How we going to deal with it? You know, and like you said before, like I heard people talk, they was connected to other people. And like you said, if you are connected to other people and I don't know if you saw this, man. I saw this video on Facebook about these two guys were so connected. They've been friends for so long that this magician was able to actually get them to feel the same feelings as he was touching one. The other one felt the same touch, as if that's how closely connected they was. And, you know, twins got that same, you know, ability. You know, I know someone who I was very close to with, we'll hear the same time. Every now and then, he said, man, I was just about to call you, man. and every time he called, I said, man, I was just thinking about your ass. And he's like, we just like on the same brainwidth. I don't know if people understand, like, that frequencies are always going through. And, like, your brain can pick up those frequencies. And, like, if you think about somebody for so long, they don't really miss you because you thinking about them. But when you actually stop thinking about them and don't give them no time, then all of a sudden they don't feel that feeling that they was having from you. So they call you. And you feel like it's out of the blue because you stop thinking about them, but you stop giving them that energy. You know, I know that shit sounds weird if you ain't, you know, think about the shit, but I mean, our brains do have antennas, and we can pick up signals just like you think about a song. But that song may be playing on the fucking radio. You turn on the radio and say, this goddamn song is on the radio. I was just hearing this song. But because you can feel those fucking frequencies, man. So, I mean, that shit's real, but you know, a lot of us don't look into shit like that too tough because we too busy looking at fucking what they call that hip hop shit. All Star. I don't even know what the fuck it is.
But you know, I think we get too disconnected. We worried about all the material shit and what everybody else is doing, and not really taking the time to understand ourselves. But I'm a firm believer in, you know, energies and things like that, and not to get all crazy sounding, but I do believe that we are disconnected with our own natural energy, and I think we really don't understand the full extent of the power of being a human being. I really firmly believe that.
I was just telling a friend of mine the other day, man. I said if you go back into black people used to have a real connection with each other, but you don't never hear nobody say, man, black people stick together. You hear that about every other culture except black people these days. Like, you talk about one culture or the other, you'll be like, man, they stick together. But when it comes to black people these days, man, you don't hear that shit. You know, it's like, oh, black people stick together. You can't separate them. Nah, we the most separated fucking people right now on the planet in my mind. And like you said, we gotten away from that. You used to be able to communicate. If you spiritually fucking connect to yourself, not anybody else. If you just connect to yourself, and other people connect to themselves, y'all will be able to communicate, and y'all be able to understand shit without having to speak or not having to say a lot of words. You know, when people get married, they've been married for a long time. They ain't got to talk to each other. They sit there, enjoy a meal, ain't saying shit to each other, but they still somewhat communicate. They know exactly what to do. They mannerisms and everything else. You say, somebody pick up and get a glass of water. You say, "Yep, she thirsty. Let me get a glass for." Cause her fucking feet hurt, cause they swelled. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? She ain't said none of that shit, but they already automatically understand. They see what's going on, cause they're in tune with each other, you know. But we so busy Snapchatting and shit. We don't never get a chance to fucking get to know the person next to us too much, cause we watching Netflix and shit.
Yeah.
But
Like
I'm gonna get on my soapbox. I just thought this was an interesting topic.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, man, like I believe it, because I think about like people back in the olden days, and I've been reading something. I'm not gonna tell y'all what the book, but I've been reading something extremely interesting. It's a book that I've had for a while, and I've been wanting to get into, and I kind of cracked it open last night while I was working on some stuff, while I was waiting for some stuff to kind of finish rendering and things like that. And man, just within the first 20 or so pages, I've become so very enlightened on some things. And so when I finish this book, it kind of ties into what you were saying about black people being disconnected and everything like that. And I think that it explains a lot. And so I want to get through the whole thing, at least this particular essay first, and then I want to get into that conversation. But I agree with you, man. As far as the energies and things like that, we don't benefit from those anymore, because we're too worried about giving our energy and our focus. What is it they say? What you focus on is what you get, and we're so busy focusing that energy everywhere else but on ourselves and the people that we love that we're losing that connection.
Man, you said a mouthful right there. Said a mouthful right there. The things that when people I think if people actually studied their own brain and how their brain works, a lot of that spookism shit will go away. You know, because you can create your own fears from yourself. If you just gotta understand yourself and understand why certain things happen, like mentally, like you like sleeping under the covers is like a mental. I ain't gonna say it's a disorder, but it's a mental thing. You know, you're causing that for yourself. That you said it didn't happen again, but it's still causing you to fear whatever it is again. Like that's a you thing. It's not what that is thing. You know, you can let that go if you want to. You know, it's more like if you understand why you feel that way or why certain things happen, the shit don't feel like spooky or as frightening to you. So there's certain things that we kind of put on ourselves because we don't, dive into the why certain shit is. Like we're almost scared of the answers because we don't want to let go of what we actually believe in, and it may not actually be true what you fucking believe. So you just gotta let certain shit go.
I agree. You can scar yourself just from having certain thoughts, and that's what people don't realize.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna get off the line, man. I had to chime in since I had some time, man. But
well, man,
I always listening from afar.
Well, it's good to hear from you, AB, man. Look, I'm still trying to hold you accountable for that. I know it's been on my end, but I'm still trying to get a hold of some of that gumbo, man. So,
bruh, it ain't a thing, man. Just let me know. Give me an address. I just once the fucking this fucking sun fucking stop fucking with us. We definitely be making some more. So, let me know. What side of town you on?
Right now I'm on the south side, but I'm gonna be moving to the west here pretty soon. So
west like Katy?
Yeah, like Katy.
God damn. All right. Well, shit. Still, I mean, I travel, so
yeah. I'll be in touch. What I'll do is I'll hit you. I'll hit you on the Facebook chat. We'll chop it up, and then that way, we'll see what's going down.
All right, that's a bet.
All right. I appreciate the call, AB.
All right, later.
All right. Shout out to AB, man. It's always good to hear from AB. Why y'all clap for this bitch? She losing. I'll never forget. That is the greatest motherfucking story. That like. Why y'all run for this bitch? She losing. That shit is that will be a. If you don't know that story, I don't know if oh my bad for y'all's ears. If you don't know that story, I don't know about your Den OG status. We got to talk about something. If you don't know that story, that's a classic. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the Den this afternoon?
Bad and bougie.
Bad and bougie. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. Now that you called, I'm doing wonderful. What's on your mind?
With regard to the dreams topic, I also was having a lot of dreams about like drowning because my car went off a cliff, or drowning because of this or because of that. So, but I'm a really good swimmer, everything. So I don't know what it is about drowning, but I always feel like it's what happens to me. Am I going to drown or something? I think about. Drowning when I that kind of weird. Somebody else mentioned drowning as well, so I don't know what that means. I looked it up just now while I was at my desk, and it said something about a loss of control as well. So I don't know if that's it or not.
So do you find yourself often taking on a lot of tasks, or are you under a lot of pressure?
Not really. I mean, as far as like work and stuff like that, it's a high pressure, position. But outside of that, no, not really. But like I said, I don't have a lot of dreams, but I have had quite a few dreams about drowning, and it's really scary. So I don't know. But at the same time, I like water, and I like swimming, and I like boating and jet skiing and stuff like that. So it's really weird.
So you just breaking all the stereotypes. That's what that is. You a trendsetter. All the stereotypes that I've had, or we have about black people, you breaking them all. So I'm proud of you.
Really? Like what?
Because, we ain't supposed to be swimming. We ain't supposed to be out in the water and stuff. We got dense bones, so we can't swim. That's something we say. And then remember we had our conversation about dark skin, and I think it was a good conversation. No, I'm just messing with you. I'm just giving you a hard time. Would you be upset?
Boating is my favorite thing over the summer. I have a boat, a bedliner. But anyway, what were you saying?
I said, would you be upset if I called you Girl 6?
Why? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
No, never mind. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Is that from that movie? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just talking trash. I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay.
But no, the other thing that I wanted to say about dreams is the other dream that I've had a few times. I was basically kind of raised by my grandparents, and since they passed away about 10 years ago, I've had like 4 or 5 dreams where, like one was just, I woke up and my grandfather was sitting at the end of my bed, and we just sat there and talked. And then another one was like, I was just at my grandparents' home cooking and just talking to my grandmother and stuff. And I remember both times, like when I woke up, I tried to hurry up and go back to sleep because it was like the best feeling ever. And it just kind of made me sad. And I was just wondering, like, is that really my grandparents coming, like, to, kind of talk to me and console me? Is that a supernatural thing, or is it just simply a dream? So I don't know what the chat thinks about that or what you think about that, but I really I almost wanted the dream to continue. When I woke up, I was like kind of sad because I really, loved that feeling of being close to them. But I'm kind of a spiritual person, so I almost felt as though it's them coming to me in my dream. That's kind of how I've looked at it.
Well, I think that's, like I say, I don't know for sure, but I think, that's how we keep people alive in the sense is by having those memories. And so if you had strong feelings for them, that may be, that connection being there. Because I think you also mentioned that you said that your grandma was like that with the fish
Oh,
situation?
yes. So I actually, I think I shared with you guys that I was a teen mom, and my ex-husband and I were trying to, keep the pregnancy a secret, of course. Um, so we weren't telling anyone, and so my grandmother kept telling everybody, like, because I have a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins, and she was like, I keep dreaming of fish. Somebody's pregnant, but nobody thought of me because I was the youngest. So she kept blaming different people, and everybody was like, no, it's not me, it's not me. And so then finally, one day I was getting up for school, and she was like, you need to go see if you're pregnant. I'm like, oh no, Granny, not me. And she's like, yeah, but I already knew. But yeah, that's definitely true in my family. Now, since my grandmother passed away, nobody else has had that gift, if you want to call it that. But definitely, she used to call us out on that all the time.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else to add to that, but I definitely want to know what the chat thinks about the grandparents coming to you in the dreams. I think that's pretty interesting. 'Cause like I say, I don't know. I'm trying to compare that experience to the one that Betty mentioned about the shadow, and if there's any correlation. Have you ever had an experience like that?
No, like I said, both, like when my dream happened, my dad and my mother have also passed away. So most of the time when I get dreams regarding them, it's more comforting than scary. It's weird though. My grandparents come to me more than my parents do, but no. But when they do, I guess I'm like welcoming to it. I mean, it makes me feel comfortable. Like maybe I don't know. Just in my mind, I like to think maybe they're looking down on me, or maybe they're trying to come to me, or maybe they're trying to let me know what's going on in my life. Are they proud of me? What are they thinking? For me, those dreams aren't scary for me at all. Actually, I wish more, but it is what it is. I wish the drowning away. No, I haven't had that in a long time, and now that I think about it, maybe it did have something to do with me feeling the control, or or something like that. I don't know. I just want the dreams to go away, and I'm good.
All right. Well, a good thing you didn't really drown, because I appreciate when you called in. I don't have anything else to add. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Anything else that's on your mind regarding
No, I share my experience. Just say hello to you, everybody. I'm going to go back to my desk and enjoy the show.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in, Miss Bad and Bougie. It's always good to hear from you.
Thank you for taking my call. Y'all have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
I am fucking up. I have a bunch of pistachios. Let me get on my job. But shout out to Miss Bad Bougie. I always enjoy her calls. That's an interesting thing. When people who have passed away that you have a very close connection, and make sure that you get your vote for chat troll, best chat troll in, and make sure that it's confirmed, so that we can that I can confirm it. Tests that A minus. I just can't show high no love. Shout out to Roscoe. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling in to the den this afternoon? Hello, Shannon. What is on your mind, Miss Shannon, about dreams today?
Oh, have you ever heard of micronaut?
What?
Micronaut.
I don't know. You sound like a little muffled. I don't know if it's on me or.
Okay. Well, if you're a person who has insomnia, sometimes you're awake, but you actually asleep as well. And they call it micronaps, and your mind is dreaming while you're awake.
Okay. So do you experience this?
Yeah.
How often do you experience this?
I used to experience it quite a bit, especially as a kid when I used to have night terrors a bit, which is why I always, whenever I have night terrors, I had to keep something like music or something playing in the background because I would see stuff that's not even me.
Mm. Like what kind of stuff would you see that wouldn't even be there?
I don't remember, but sometimes I would see like it can be anything. It can be objects, it can be people, or I would think I was in a place that I'm not really at.
Okay. So did you have frequent you had frequent nightmares growing up? Do you still have frequent nightmares, or were they just weird
I get
dreams?
the night terrors. I get the night terrors sometimes, not as often, because I used to get them all the time as a kid. But when I do get them, sometimes they be about me, or they be about my mom dying in some of the most worst ways, and I'm not there. But I'm just watching her die, and I can't stop it.
Okay. Um, yeah, I'm trying to. It's still a little. So, what is the difference between, in your opinion, night terrors and nightmares, or are they the same thing?
Night terrors are more like something you're afraid of being real. Some that you see it being real in your mind. It feels real, it looks real, and your mind thinks that it's actually there and that it's actually happening to you.
Are you like are you talking through some earphones or something?
No,
Because it sounds like really muffled. And that's what they say in the chat. Like it's real hard to hear what you're saying. Like it sounds a little muffled on my end, but they saying they're really having a hard time hearing.
oh, can you hear me now?
No, I mean, well, yeah. I mean, I can hear you, but it sounds kind of the same.
That's because I dropped this phone, so it's probably messing up.
Dropping the phone, slip. You gotta have better hands. Yeah, look, I got the. I have the ability to adjust my audio to where it's too loud, so I can hear certain
And
things.
then sometimes, like, you can have dreams where you hear a voice, like, there ain't nothing there, but you can hear voices talking to you.
Mm. Okay. Like what kind of voice?
And I always have that fixed dream, but I always know who exactly is pregnant.
Well, because all your friends stay pregnant. All you gotta do is spin in a circle and point at one of them, and they gonna be pregnant. Shit, the way you tell it.
No, because every time I had a fixed dream, I see somebody's face, and I know they're pregnant. And then they come up and be like, I got news, you're pregnant. And they're like, how'd you know? Okay.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's how I always know my cousins is always pregnant.
All right. So, real quick, only one line. Is that a confirmation of your vote for Sweetberry? Because before I mark it out, I don't want nobody calling back saying, "Well, you know, I'm changing my vote to so and so. I got paid off." Y'all only get one vote.
That's why, because of the night terrors about my mom dying, I spent a lot more time at my mom's house than I did at my own.
That's tough. That's tough. Okay. So have you gotten? I mean, you still have these night terrors?
They don't happen as often, but I do still have them every once in a while.
Okay. So is there anything that changed in your life that maybe reduced the fact that you were having so many night terrors that now you don't have them as much?
I don't really know because I still, like I said, I still kind of keep my same routine. Because, like, when I go to sleep, there's always some kind of sound or music or something playing in the background.
Okay.
Because that lets your mind know that whatever you're seeing in your dream is not real.
Okay.
So I guess that kind of helped a little bit.
All right. Okay. What about good dreams? Do you have good dreams besides fishy dreams?
Yeah, but I don't remember too many of them. Like usually my good dreams be like just dreams about things that happened when I was a kid, like family dinners and everything. And
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, is there anything else that you would like to add to the dream conversation? Or are you just trying to host me for some more pistachios?
no, that's all I wanted to add to it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in, Miss Shannon. Next time if you ever dreaming about getting chased by a dog, stay on the bike in your dream. That's my advice. You know, I would think that would be in your best interest.
Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call, Miss Shannon, and I hope to speak to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Adios. All right. Like I said, only gonna rock an hour and a half today because I gotta, so we'll take one more call and then we'll make it a wrap for today. Did I miss anybody else's vote? I got only one live vote. Did anybody else vote for their favorite chat troll? And so I want to make sure that I don't. This is probably gonna be a terrible call. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this afternoon?
That actually hurts. What's the best thing about dating a homeless woman? What? You can drop her off anywhere.
Oh, that was fucking funny. That was fucking funny. I was gonna hang up anyway, so. Oh man, that was fucking funny. Yeah. So I just had to hang it up. Yeah, we'll take one more call. That won't be the last call. That was a terrible call to end it on. It was funny, but it was terrible. That's fucking bad. Oh man. Like I said, I take whatever call comes in first. I don't play favorites. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
You know this is not going to be a terrible call.
No. See, you might be a little bit behind because the terrible call just happened. It was, yeah, I had to hang up. What's the name of Miss Bill? How are you doing this afternoon, Miss Bill?
Good. This is why I get my call on early. I hate fighting to get a call in.
Yeah, I seen you've been active on the line. What are your thoughts on today's topic, though?
Well, I saw the title of Dreams, and do you realize that most people dream in black and white and not Technicolor?
Really?
Yeah. It's rare to dream in Technicolor.
Did not know that.
And more often than not, people don't actually dream at all.
No, that's kind of where I'm at. I really don't dream often, but when I do, it's always super weird when I do remember. That's crazy, though.
Yeah, I had a family member that said, don't eat bananas at night, it'll cause nightmares. I'm like, well, where the heck did that one come from? But I guess it was an old wives' tale, you know? But yeah, yep. So, any questions?
What about you? When is the last dream that you had? Do you recall?
The last good dream I remember is after my husband passed. I saw him in the dream, and he was healthy and whole and okay. And it was just like kind of a quick check-in, and I woke up.
Interesting. So, do you think that is a spiritual thing, like someone reaching out? Do you think it's a mental thing, like reaffirming
I'd like
something?
to believe. Nope. I'd like to believe that it was like, technically, as they would say, like a kiss from beyond, like a message from beyond, knowing that he's okay. I tend to dream a lot. I just haven't dreamed in a really long time, so it was a little disturbing when I got it. But to know that somebody that you love is okay, it makes the whole world right. So, but yeah, and I tend to dream in Technicolor more than I do black and white. And one time, when I woke up, I didn't know where the hell I was. And it's probably one of the only times in my life that it ever happened.
Like, you were actually, like, somewhere else, or just kind of, you just were, like, lost when you kind of came to?
I probably had gone into such a deep sleep when I woke up, it was like, where the hell am I? And I had to dream. I don't remember what the dream was, but wherever it was, and it woke me up into the consciousness, it must have been that deep of a dream or that deep of a sleep that I didn't know where the hell I was. But it was comforting when I kind of figured out, okay, I'm at my parents' house and da-da-da-da-da. But anyway. But yeah, most people dream of just like average common stuff, like coffee mugs and animals and primarily pets. I don't know. So I think dreams, they also tell a bit to us about our subconscious that we don't always want to connect with. Yeah, I know, that's a little deep. But sometimes if there's something that's really bothering us and we don't want to deal with it, sometimes it will come out in a dream. Not everybody and not all the time, but yeah, I think so.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Especially when the more stressed you are, the more it's going to be right there.
So have you ever had a dream that kind of maybe changed your outlook on life or how you approach things?
Yeah, I have. I've had a couple of dreams that it was just like, I was at a crossroads and it helped me make a decision for the better. And at this point, I probably have a journal somewhere because I do that, but I can't remember exactly what the dream was. But it was just like whatever it was when I woke up, I knew what I needed to do, and it brought me on a better path in my life. So, there's times that you listen to them, and then there's times you don't. And for some people, they're more intense, and for other people, they don't pay attention to them at all. And again, some people don't dream at all, and some people dream in black and white. Somebody was talking about nightmares. I had a friend of mine that used to have daymares. She would fall asleep. She would fall asleep in the afternoon because she worked long shifts. And she would have a nightmare if she slept in the afternoon.
That's crazy.
So it's just kind of weird. And sometimes it's the body clock or your body telling you that you actually need more rest than less. But that's all kinds of bunch of other stuff. Anyway, so just trying to get mine in, and hey, I might have not been the first call, but I was definitely the last for today.
Well, hey, I guess usually it's the bell has rung and class is in session. Well,
yeah, now we get to say, hey, class students out.
So yes, Ms. Bell letting class out today. Okay. Well, that's interesting. The color thing is very interesting. I don't know. I thought people. I guess now I got to go back and think about it. I'm wondering if I'm really dreaming in color or not. I wonder if I got to think about that. But I think I do. I want to believe that I do. I don't
a lot of people don't even take it into consideration because a dream is a dream is a dream. And the other thing is this is something my mom told me since I was a little kid, because my best friend growing up was into the B horror flicks. So every time I would fall asleep, I would have a nightmare. So she would say, go back to sleep and fix whatever was wrong in the nightmare and make it right. And so after that, I very rarely ever had another nightmare after that. So whatever the situation was, is go back and be protected in the dream. And it worked, which I thought was pretty darn cool.
Okay.
I wasn't little. I think I was 17 or 18 when it happened.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I had a real nightmare, something that I felt was like a nightmare. And like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Sometimes I I don't know, maybe like maybe missing that fear or something. Like I almost want to have. Well, I guess I don't know what qualifies. I don't know if a nightmare is something that's always fearful or if it's just something that bad that happens. What would you consider a nightmare? Is it just does it have to be a fear, or can it just be a dream that wasn't pleasant?
Something to me, a nightmare is something that's terrifying. When I wake up, I am usually physically scared, or there's just something that's leaving me shooken when I wake up. That to me is a nightmare. And night terrors are when you don't want to go back to sleep, no matter how bad you need to sleep. But those are pretty rare, at least in my opinion. But yeah, I've had a few nightmares where it's taken me a while where I really didn't want to go back to sleep, but I knew I had to. And I don't always see dreams as foreshadowing, but it doesn't mean they're not. It's just not my forte. But I definitely think that they connect with our deeper consciousness that we don't always want to look at. And sometimes they do tell us things that we don't want to listen to. So, but it's all individual and everybody has their own opinions on it. Anything else today, Honcho?
No, ma'am. I think that's all I have, Miss Bill.
All right. And thanks to Kay Grace for the 1,000 pistachios. I really appreciate that. I wanted to send her a shout out because that was a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, Miss Grace is nice. Unlike some of the other people in this chat.
Don't be knocking them. We got a lot of good folks in the den.
Yeah, I'm not saying everybody's bad. We got some bad people in here too. Some very bad people. Not everybody's all right with it. I'm just talking shit.
Well, I'll let you. What was the word that was said to me the other day? Soft. Snitching.
So you learn something new every day of the day. Yes. Dry snitching.
Yeah, that's it. Is dry snitching. I'm like, damn, I got receipts. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's still considered snitching. So I learned a new lesson. I'm good with that. All right, Honcho, do you have an idea what tonight's topic is?
I'm choosing between two things, but I will have it posted much earlier. I'm gonna decide probably within the next hour after the stream, and I'll have it posted much earlier so that everybody can, be prepared for it, and they can get their top threes together for tonight.
That sounds really cool. And don't forget to be on time, right?
I'm gonna be a little bit late, just because something is gonna happen. What's that? Who is it? What's the law? Murphy's Law?
Oh, Murphy's Law. Yeah. I've been buddies with him a few times in my life, too many. All right, well, hopefully it will be by 10:15 at the latest.
Yeah, we'll be in the den at 10. I'll have everything good to go. So we'll be on time tonight.
And you know I'm just harassing you, right?
Yeah, it's all good.
Absolutely.
That's what happens when you're baby food.
That's right, you are baby food. And I'm the teacher, so everybody's dismissed.
All right, Miss Bell.
See you tonight.
I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Bye, Honcho.
Yeah, we go. All right. I think that's a good note. So, I'm gonna give y'all my ending Jerry Springer here, and then we're gonna wrap it up. And I know Miss Empress been trying to get in. I ain't trying to hate on you, Miss Empress. Look, I got you. But I'm a little bit behind on what I got planned, so I gotta make sure I get Heidi's out there. Not only is she buying the groceries and cooking the groceries, she's eating the groceries. I got your votes, Heidi, from DC, AB, and Bryant. I have confirmed all of the votes there. Yeah, there's some inside jokes in here. Where's Angela? Because I need to do this. I need to talk to Angela. She was getting upset about the Obama router joke. I can't be taking nothing personal at the end. Everything is jokes in the den until somebody puts your name on it. Then you got to start beefing. So, there's that. My thing is this. All right, Ms. Betsy, glad you could join us. My thing is this, as we get ready to wind it down. Like I said, I've been having some crazy dreams. And I wondered, like I said, I was in the I told you I was like in the projects in LA for some reason, chasing a fucking rabbit. And like I said, just been having some weird dreams lately, and I really don't remember my dreams very often. And so I forgot who suggested it earlier. I think it was Miss Grace, yeah, who talked about, what are you talking about? I ain't sleep. What I ain't do nothing. What are you talking about, Sweetberry? I got your vote. I got your vote, Sweetberry, for only one lie. I confirmed that already. But my thing is, and I wonder if, like, you know, some of these things are connected. You know, and again, sometimes I think things are just random, but there could be connection. I think the mind has a way of putting things together also. And I wonder if the rabbit, because Scotty moves like a rabbit when he goes up and down stairs. He hops up and down the steps like a fucking little rabbit, and he does this little hoppy thing when he's excited. So, you know, I just call him a rabbit because he moves like a rabbit. Excuse me. And then I do believe it was a blood neighborhood. But that's because, you know, somebody I knew was I don't know if, well, I don't know if that was why somebody was going out of town or whatever. But like I say, it was a crazy situation. And like I said, I had two friends that I don't even know who the fuck they are because I don't have any friends that even look like whoever these associates in this dream. But I was chasing this fucking rabbit. And I'm just wondering, you know, now if I start, like, you know, someone mentioned about the zombies and, you know, running from that means you got something pressuring you. But it was like, in the dream, it was almost like I embraced, this is the zombie charger dream. And I wonder if the charger with the journey, like, I don't know. I mean, I think if you really look for anything, you can put a meaning to it. Because you can take people's literature, old English literature and stuff, even in the English classroom. Well, what do you think the author meant by when he wrote this? And people will come up with like 20 different fucking things. So I think dreams can mean a lot of different stuff. I think if you can find some kind of relatable meaning, you just take it and run with it. But I mean, it could be meaning that I'm pursuing something in a tough way that is going to be difficult to accomplish. Running after a fucking rabbit, which is hard to catch, in a fucking bad territory where you're probably not welcome, can mean a lot of things to me. It can mean a lot of stuff. The embracing the pressure, you know, trying to take it on no matter what, while, you know, protecting the few that support or listen to what I was trying to warn them about in the dream, you know, and well, when I woke up, we were surviving. Can mean a lot of things. So I think that it means a lot of stuff. Rabbit, nah, I'm chasing a marriage rabbit. So, you know, it's very, very interesting. I ain't finna Google that rabbit. I'm gonna leave that rabbit where it's at. What's up, Mary? What's the motherfucking deal? And who else? I think if somebody else stayed up in here that I meant to shout out. Shout out to Roscoe. Roscoe, I haven't seen Roscoe in a while. It's good to hear from Roscoe, man. See, look, yeah, I mean, I gotta wrap it up. I'll give you like two and a half minutes while I'm gonna talk while I do this. See, it's some den quadruple quintuple OGs. You know what I'm saying? Like 5-time OGs. You got some 4-time OGs. You got some triple OGs. You got some double OGs. You got some OGs. I think to be in the triple OG den status, you had to have at some point in time been a part of the Kush Den before the den changed over, because the Kush Den was just, it was a completely different environment. It was just some other shit going on in the Kush Den, and yeah, there was just some, yeah, it's a big difference. I'm looking at now compared to the Kush Den, a huge difference, but you know, it is what it is. But Roscoe is definitely a 5-time OG. Roscoe been down for a long, long time. And he been in my, so, you know, you were, oh, somebody asked if I was going to let the lady Honcho host for us, ladies and gentlemen, first. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Will not, shall not. No. That'll never happen. And I've been thinking about the weed thing too. I don't know, I've really been thinking about it. I may not ever smoke again. I don't know. I may not. I've really been debating on that and thinking about the goals and things that I want to accomplish in life. And I'm like, where where does that necessarily fit in? And if so, it would like be a occasional end of the day type thing. I just don't think I don't ever see myself being a smoker like I once was, even if I do, or not if, but when I reach the goals that I have intended to reach. So, it is what it is. Again, let's just run through it real quick. You want to go get you that's unfortunate shirt. You want to get you some other merch, the mugs and things like that. Go to denshowshop.com. You have a lot of options, a lot of variety of items. And I'm going to be adding some new things in there, some new looks. Make sure you tune in Saturdays. Make sure you before Saturday, so you can get the notification. Go to denshowpodcast.com. Make sure you sign up so that you can be a part of the live chat on the audio podcast for Saturday at 1. Make sure you're following on Instagram, Den Show Live on the Insta. Make sure you're following on Facebook, facebook.com/Den Show Live on the Facebook. If you fuck with the Twitter sphere, make sure you follow it, Den Show Live on the Twitter. I gotta get more active on my Den Show Live on the Twitter. I really don't be on there as much, but like I said, I have a social media strategy in which I'm going to start implementing a lot more content. I have a daily goal of content across a variety of platforms. I gotta do a lot more. Nightly, 10 p.m. We'll be live 10 p.m. tonight. We'll be on time. See, that's why it kind of goes out of the border, then it comes back in, because sometimes I'll be a little bit late and then I got to bring it back in. Smoking is bad for the brain. Weekdays, 1 p.m. Central. I know it's a little bit late today, but we'll make it shake. We'll make it shake. Is it the Den Show? Where's the Den Show? Which one is the Den Show? It's the Den Show on something. Like, I got to mix it. Most of them should be Den Show Live, I think, on the social medias, but then I think the Den Show is on the Patreon and the Streamlab. But it should be the Den something. I don't know if I might have to change it. Yes, if you want to donate to the channel, go to denjamins.com. If you want to drop some Denjamins in some ducats in the bucket. She had to pluck it before I fuck it. You go to denjamins.com. It's an easier way to remember instead of going to the Streamlabs, all that other stuff. Denjamins.com will take you where you need to go if you want to make a one-time donation to the channel. And if you want to make a monthly pledge to the channel, go to denfolk.com and you can make a monthly pledge. Like I said, I will be changing that up here within the next couple of days and editing some of the tiers and just change up a little bit some of the options for some different things. I got to finish up some graphics on that. Yeah, man. For those of you who rock the sauce, will be some sauce last night. Last night there was sauce. There'll be some sauce tonight. Man, people were very, I guess, interested in that. What's going on with the clown? People say some crazy stuff, man. People saying some real crazy stuff. Heidi, you already got dementia. So let's see. Let me look at your vape pen right, man. Hit it 2 times for me. It's every time I smoke once a year for it, I'd be plastered. It'd be terrible. Yeah, I agree, man. What bad bullshit? I love that. Now, my thing is just that, like, I don't know. My mentality right now is that I have to establish some things that I want to give it. Like, I don't deserve the. Because to me, like I said, I'm not much of a drinker. I really don't care about drinking. I mean, I really don't. I haven't drank probably. It's probably been over. I don't know when the last drink den was, but whenever the last drink den was probably the last time I drank. That's probably been over a year or two. So, like, I really don't fucking. I don't be tripping over none of that shit. Like, it is what it is. But as far as like weed is something I actually enjoy. It's I like to to relax or whatever it is. But so like I believe in sacrificing, making sacrifices, and to get ahead in certain things. And so that probably being one of my favorite things to do, as far as relaxing or chilling or whatever you want to call it. I feel like I have to give it up to reach further goals that I want to accomplish. And then, once I obtain those things, I don't think about it. Then it becomes an option. It's not like I don't know. Right now it's not an option until I get a few things on point, just to challenge myself. But We'll get into that later. We'll talk about some things later. And I'll have the topic probably posted up within the hour as far as what we're going to be talking about tonight and then. I appreciate y'all. I got to slide out. We're running a little bit behind, but I love chopping it up with y'all, man. I appreciate each and every caller. I appreciate each and every one of you who's lived through the day to day. Make sure you get your vote in. What? I mean, I've been on a black hiatus for a while. I did hit one other day though. I ain't gonna lie. But I was cool for about a month or two. Since the last time when prepaid was giving me a hard time about them blacks, I stopped fucking with them for a while, and then I ain't gonna lie, I hit one the other day. But not really been fucking with them like I've really been sitting on them, because I mean if they fucking don't do anything, it's just like I say, there's no point in them. It's just like a thing. I don't know if I have like I don't want to call it a smoking fetish or whatever, but it's just something about smoke. But they don't do anything for you, so they're terrible. But with that being said, I appreciate all of you. I thank all of y'all for coming through, and guard your nuts, because y'all know that Sweetberry gonna be stealing your shit. Rashida, I don't even want to hear it. Rashida Clinton, Hillary Reid. I got to slide, but I appreciate y'all, man, and I'm going with the get up.